Okay, salamat kaayo sa ato ang ICT unit headed by Sir Elson Hamero, our technical team no supporting this webinar series. So again, today is July 10, 2020, Friday, the second day of the webinar series Capacitating Parents on the New Learning Landscape. So this webinar is actually an offshoot of RX Adobe, that is the Region 10 alternative delivery of basic education. So this is aimed to prepare the school division offices on the role of external stakeholders on the new learning landscape, especially that we are approaching the new normal. No, the opening of classes is challenging to everyone. And secondly, this is to identify appropriate teaching tools and learning resources. Thirdly, to ensure that the school's learning environment will be ready for the opening of classes in August 2020. That is next month already, no, mga igsoon. And lastly, to advocate the Learning Continuity Plan or the LCP of Region 10. So in this webinar series, we are involving everyone, no, internal and external stakeholders, because we recognize the role of our partners, the role of our parents, and indeed, no, it takes a village to train or to educate a child. Okay, so to give you a brief lang recap of what transpired yesterday, so we had three very competent presenters kagahapon during our day one. We started with, of course, our regional director, Dr. Arturo Bayokot. He shared on the understanding, the teaching and learning in the context of COVID-19. Then it was followed by our medical officer in the regional office, Dr. Mayra Guadalupe Yi. She shared on understanding the COVID-19. And then in the afternoon, with our last presenter, the Schools Division Superintendent of Malaybalay City, Dr. Victoria Gaso. She shared on the roles and the responsibilities of parents. Now, for this second day of the webinar, we have two equally competent speakers as well. So that is something that everyone should be watching out, no? Kay maayo kaya to ang mga topics karong adlaw. Okay, so to welcome everyone to give his message, help me welcome our Assistant Regional Director, Dr. Victor De Gracia Jr. CESO 4. Virtual applause, please.
Thank you very much, Sir Boots. It's my pleasure to be connected with you today. We thank God for this day. And I'm happy for this opportunity to be connected with our beloved colleagues in the field and also our stakeholders. And I join our CLMD family in this effort, headed by our chief, Ma'am Perry Magnaong. Well, let me start by stating, and I'd like everybody to emphasize that in the aspect of capacitating our parents, no, we have to stress that parents have a very crucial and special role in distance learning, which will be the mode of our delivery of education in this new normal. So I repeat, meron silang crucial and special role. So mahalaga talaga na ang ating parents ay mabigyan ng karampatang assistance din to discharge the role, their crucial and special role this time of pandemic. But before I go into the details of that, I would like first to set things on the side of policy on what DepEd is going to do in this pandemic time. Okay? So may presentation akong konti. Okay, I'll reiterate to observe Secretary Yunor Magdolis Briones. First, that there should be no classes until a vaccine Goroa Duterte. And our secretary said we will comply with the president's directive to postpone face-to-face classes until a vaccine is available. Lately, there is a clarification by the secretary that on the question of pwede bang face-to-face sa mga lugar na wala namang kaso ng COVID, which I think we have some spots here in Region 10. Well, the secretary has said, wala tayong face-to-face na klase hanggat hindi ligtas at hindi pinapayagan ng DOH, IATF at ng Pangulo. So kung anong pronouncement ng Pangulo ay yun ang ating susundin. So for those divisions, baka you will be tempted to allow face-to-face schooling in some areas where there is no COVID-19 threat. The regional office cannot support you on that because we have to follow the pronouncement of our president and our beloved secretary. Okay, so we are going to use really learning delivery modalities that is distance learning. So ito ay apat, no? Composed of modular distance learning, which is printed or digital, to online distance learning, which is synchronous or asynchronous. C, radio and TV-based instruction, and homeschooling. Hindi ko na-discuss ang details because ito ang tinitake up na ng, for several times in different fora and meetings. Pero ito yung ating mode of delivery of learning, which is applicable at this time. So, ang kailangan at this point, because almost middle of July na, malapit na talaga mag-umpisa ang klase, so parents need to be oriented. And that's what we are doing now. No? So, as I said, ang role ng parents is support to learning of their children at home. You know, blessing din ito sa family actually because parents and children will have more time to bond with each other. So there will be a strengthening of relationships at home, no? Which otherwise hindi possible kung lahat ay very busy and doing things outside. Okay, except for homeschooling na talagang role ng parent is to teach, pero kailangan pang i-train sila. Or to hire a tutor, pero it's a very expensive situation. So what parents can do is first identify a learning space at home. Then establish a routine for study every day. Kailangan may schedule yung mga anak natin na mag-aral, no? Every day. Kasi kung wala ito, baka isang linggo lang na schooling eh hindi na ma-sustain, no? So kailangan talagang merong schedule or routine for study. Kung umpisa alas 8 pa o alas 9, it depends on the situation at home. It depends on the household chores that will be assigned to the children. So meron silang chores for work at home, and they should have a time for study. No? They should have a time for play. Okay. Third, be aware of the outputs of the accomplishment to be accomplished per learning area. Dapat ang parents aware kung ano bang dapat i-achieve for the week, no? Or for the month. So ilista yon. Then, importante, prompt communication with the teacher if difficulties are encountered. The cheapest way to communicate with our parents now is through cell phone. No? So text and messenger. So ang teachers natin ay gagamitin yan to the maximum para ang communication ay mabilis, no, to our students and to our parents. But kailangan pag merong need, kung merong difficulty na na-experience, prompt ang pag-communicate ng parents sa kanilang teachers. Then, importante itong next. Facilitate learning by not spoon-feeding the learner. Importante na ang parents natin ay matuto rin na parang teacher ba, na kung mag-facilitate ng learning, ay hindi ibig sabihin spoon-feed. Meaning, ibigay kagad yung kung ang tamang answer sa mga bata, no, without giving the opportunity for the child to solve the problem. Kasi importante ito to develop critical thinking for our learners. Kailangan ng ating mga anak na mag-develop ng critical thinking. And madidevelop lamang yan kung hindi sila dependent sa kanilang parents for the answer. No? Kailangan, if there's a problem, they need to solve the problem on themselves. I-guide lang ng parent. Sabi nga ni King, na researcher, psychologist noong 2011, sabi niya sa mga teachers, the role is to be a guide on the side instead of a sage on the stage. Ganun din yung parents. No? Kailangan guide lang tayo sa ating mga anak. Huwag tayo yung didikta, huwag tayo yung sasagot ng kanilang question. Okay? I hope that's well taken by our parents. Kasi tutulungan talaga natin ang ating mga anak to develop critical thinking. Okay? And last but not the least, meron kang dapat extra patience to deal with your children while learning. Huwag agad pagalitan, please, no? Hold your temper. No? Have extra patience to guide your children to learn. I hope that these tips could help our parents. No? So, relax lang po tayo. Let's be open to this new setting in our educational landscape na kayo talaga ay ang aming active partner for the learning of your children. Okay, so lastly, I have to leave this message for parents. Have courage to embrace the new normal in education. Kayang-kaya natin ito. Magtulong-tulungan tayo. No? As children continue learning in this time of pandemic, parents should give full support by being at their side in the journey. Daghang salamat. God bless everyone.
Okay, let us show some love and virtual clap to our Assistant Regional Director, Dr. Victor D. Gracias Jr. Salamat kaayo ARD for the tips as we all embrace the teaching and the learning landscape in the new normal. Okay, so we will now proceed to the webinar proper. So for this morning, we have one speaker who is very dedicated and very hardworking. That is why she's known to be very pro-teacher and pro-learner. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome the school's division superintendent from the division of Cagayan de Oro City, Dr. Cherry May L. Limbaco, CESO 5, to share on the curriculum support system. A round of applause, please.
Good morning. Good morning, ARD Vic, to RD Art, and to all of us, good morning. I thank the regional office for inviting me to share with you my views on curriculum support system as we welcome the new school year. Let me, just give me a minute. Let me have my presentation.
Okay, as Ma'am Cherry is preparing her presentation, reminders everyone to please mute your audio so we can clearly hear our presenter for today. Okay, take it away, Ma'am Cherry.
Thank you, Boots. Good morning again. The presentation that I will share with you this morning is a product of the series of meetings I have conducted with the teachers of Cagayan de Oro City. When Cagayan de Oro City was classified as in terms of community quarantine as modified general community quarantine, ESDS Shanghai and I decided to meet the teachers, small group, ano lang, tag 60. We went from one district to another district. And listening to their stories and their views about the opening of classes, I was able to generate some ideas and insights, which I think is very important to curriculum support system. We have to remember that because of COVID-19 pandemic, education has been hit particularly hard, really hard. Classes were suspended and all of a sudden stopped by the third week of March. And because of this, my personal view and from the stories I have heard from my co-teachers here in Cagayan de Oro City, dropout rates across the region are likely to rise as a result of the disruption to education access. The interruption to education will have a long-term effect. And the implication is one thing that we have to be very, very, very careful, because we shall be dealing with children who are the most vulnerable. They say that education is life-saving. It instills hope for a brighter future. Earlier, ARD Vic said, education can't wait, as said also by Secretary Briones. In COVID-19 pandemic, children are the hidden victims of COVID-19 pandemic. But we have to give hope to our school children, to our parents, to all the learners. We have to inform them that the Department of Education is here for our learners. Regardless of the situation, we ought to journey with our learners. I'd like to start with a timeline. On March 9, 2020, the President declared a state of public health emergency in the country. During that week, classes in Metro Manila were suspended. In Cagayan de Oro City, for example, on the evening of March 15, Mayor Moreno gave me a call and informed me that on March 16, all classes will be suspended. We were not ready for it because we were not done with our year-end examinations. June 1 was the first day of enrollment because on May 31 was the last day of 70 days leave with pay. However, the department decided that teachers shall be on work from home. Come August 3 to 20, we shall have our pre-opening activities because August 3 is already counted as part of the class days. During this 3-week period, we shall be conducting orientation to our parents. The orientation that we shall, please remember we shall conduct orientation. The orientation will not be a typical general assembly of the parents because we would like to organize the PTA or the HR PTA. This time, we are going to orient the parents on the different modalities or maybe on the modality that a particular school shall use in the delivery of instruction. We actually have 3 weeks, but these 3 weeks is very, very crucial. Crucial because it is during this period that we shall be able to gauge the kind of support we shall generate from our parents. And you see, kani siya nga period, Morning time nga atong i-instill gyud sa atong parents na dili gyud pwede magpasok ang ningas kugon mentality. On August 24 shall be the formal opening of our classes. Let me share with you also something about our curriculum, because kung ato ni siyang makuha, then we will fully understand what are we going to do when our classes shall start. When RA 105-333 was enacted, the number of years in basic education was increased from 10 to 12 years. That means you get to see that the senior high school is a statutory right afforded to our learners. Then in 2013, January of 2013, the implementing rules and regulation of RA 105-333 was enacted. In 2016, Republic Act 10157, or the Kindergarten Act, was enacted. Because of this act, we said that kindergarten now is mandatory and a requirement prior to grade 1. The omnibus policy on kindergarten education was released through DepEd Order number 47, series of 2016. Now, I'd like to share with you also the curriculum framework. Dinhi ko mo angkor sa akong curriculum support system. The curriculum support system can be seen in the K-12 curriculum framework. When we speak of curriculum support, we refer to teachers, learning resources, learning environment, assessment and exits, school leadership and management, community industry relevance, and partnership. Now that we are into the COVID-19 pandemic, the education landscape has been changed. The delivery of instruction has been changed. Dili ni siya mao ang atong nakasanayan. That means, for the division, the region, and the department, we shall be conducting series of capacity building for our teachers. But the capacity building that we shall do for our teachers, we have to remember that we need to observe also the existing quarantine classification of a place. Knowing the quarantine classification of a place, then that will be our basis for our training design for our teachers. What shall we share sa atong teachers? One, the learning modality delivery. This is very, very important because we shall go into distance learning. Akong na-realize while having nakahuman mi og 3 ka-districts, and I know we have our parents here listening to me, na-realize na ako together with the teachers na sa tulo ka learning delivery modality, ang in a way I would say pinakamaayo ang online learning. Why? Sa online learning, giingon man to sa presentation kanina ni ARD Vic na it is both synchronous and asynchronous. Sa synchronous, it's real time. That means na simulate nato ang face-to-face learning which is not available sa modular distance learning. So when we do training for our teachers on this, we need to tell our teachers to be very, very creative, to be very, very innovative when it comes sa modular distance learning. The grading system, we need to train our teachers because I know the department shall issue a new grading system. Another thing, we have to train our teachers also on monitoring of student progress. Sa una manggod nga panahon, ang monitoring of student progress was very easy because the learners are inside the school, inside the classroom. But this time, ang atong mga learners wala sa school, tuas sila sa ilang mga balay. I haven't printed it here, but the most important training na dapat ihatag nato sa atong mga maestra has something to do with dealing with our parents. Specifically, we have to teach our teachers how to do community organizing. Reason, kinahanglan nato karon ang support sa atong mga parents. Ang support karon sa parents dili lang anang pag-attend sa PTA meeting or attend sa HR PTA meeting, but it goes beyond that. Ang kind of support nga atong gusto karon sa parent is a very, very active support. Kana yung all the way through a support that will last up to April 30. Ako nang ma-discuss later. In terms of learning resources, during school year 2019-2020, learning resources were accessible sa learners, kay naaraman sa eskwelahan. But this time, our learners are at home. Na sila sa ilang balay, geographically remote from each other, ang learners at ang teachers. Even ang school, layo yung kay sa bata. Ang school na dito ang tanan nga learning resources. Now, kung sa man itong mga learning resources, ani, we can have textbooks, computers, televisions, maps, charts, poster, anang model like the model anang human body. We also have digital resources. It can be in form of video clips or software. We have online resources, pareho sa DepEd Commons, kanang Globe Library karon, sorry, mali ang spelling din na. We also have the TVL tools. We have science and mathematics equipment. But ang question karon nato aning learning resources has something to do with access. Unsaon ni pag-access sa atong mga bata now that we are into distance learning? Might take. The instruction I gave, ako lang ning take ha, the instruction I gave to the PSDS, to the school heads, when parents will report for orientation in August, we have to lend the textbooks to the parents. Ang practice nato sa una, ang textbook, ihatag nato sa bata. Ipahulam sa bata, ang bata ang mag-receive. But this time, since children are not allowed to leave their homes, so we have to give it to the parents. What is the advantage of this? Somehow, ang accountability nato sa textbook, ato na sang napasa dito sa bata. And also, ang bata dunay reference. Na siya'y mabasa karon. You see, kahit na siya'y self-learning modules, wala ba yung teacher din, the traditional teacher who will stand next to the child. So at least na ay libro. Kaning televisions and computers, this is the time nga pwede na ito magamit ni siya. We have to be very, very creative. Like, wala man nag-ingon ang DepEd nga we have ang kaning computers and television should only be inside the school. We can actually bring this sa community. When we have video lessons, kanang atong mga online resources, we can make it available through the computers and through the televisions. Gamito nato ning computers and televisions as if mahimo nato siyang mobile classroom. Dalahon nato siya sa mga sitio. Dalahon sa areas kung asa dagan ang tao. However, keeping in mind the DOH and IATF policy that children are not allowed to leave their homes. That means kung maghimo ta karon og TV or salida or showing aning mga video clips, kaning online resources, sa digital resources, ang atong audience, ang parents. Kay dili man pwede mugawas ang mga bata. Now, when we share these learning resources to our community members, we also have to remember that we shall also observe the health protocols prescribed by the Department of Health and IATF. Na din sa ubos, gibutang nako ang self-learning modules. Ang self-learning modules karon nga ihatag nato sa atong mga learners, mauni siya karon atong main tools for learning. Nahulog ni siyang ang SLM, ang modules, nahulog siya nga mura na siya karong teacher sa mga bata, guide for learning. And we have to remember that regardless of the modalities, be it online, modular distance learning, or radio and TV-based instruction, we will be using the same self-learning modules. We will now discuss, I will now share something with you about the learning environment. Before COVID-19, mauna siya ang look sa classroom, sa school. Abay-abay ang mga bangko, and kita nimo daghang kay structuring sa teacher. When the new normal shall come after the COVID-19 pandemic, mag-change na karon ang itsura sa atong classroom. 1, we shall be observing physical social distancing. That means ang distance now between one table to another table shall range from 1 meter to 2 meters. Another thing, makita nato